Well, very good points are being raised here. Very important discussion. As a continuation of our reading of the Līlāmṛta review, today we will be reading from section 1, page number 2, where there is a description on page number 2 in the bottom. The associate of the Supreme Lord is also described as a Maha-Bhagavata. Everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. In the purport, Śrīla Prabhupāda explains, due to deep ecstatic love for Krishna, the Maha-Bhagavata sees Krishna everywhere and nothing else. This is confirmed in Brahma Samhita. Premanjana Turita Bhakti Vilochanena from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 8274. On page number 3 of this Līlāmṛta review, Prabhupada has directly stated his status as a Maha-Bhagavata. This is from the Nectar of Instruction on page 64. Such neophytes, unable to appreciate the exalted service of the advanced devotee, try to bring the Maha-Bhagavata to their platform. We experience such difficulties in propagating this Krishna consciousness all over the world. Unfortunately, we are surrounded by neophyte godbrothers. They simply try to bring us to their platform. His Divine Grace Śrīla Prabhupāda was never affected by the material modes of nature, which include the contaminations of happiness and distress, heat and cold, hunger and thirst, etc. His body was not made of the material elements. When he sometimes said otherwise, that was to accomplish his own purposes in the advancement of his disciples. His body was spiritual. Then there is a quote from a letter from Śrīla Prabhupāda to a devotee named Madhusudana. Yes, the analogy concerning the spiritual body of the Sadguru is acceptable, but not in the material sense. In the material world, the gold box and the gold-plated box may be different in price, but in the spiritual world, there is no distinction. There, the gold box and the gold-plated box are the same. From a letter from Śrīla Prabhupāda to Madhusudana Dāsa, February 1st, 1968. The associate of the Lord, when he comes to this material world, either as a Nitya Siddha or Sadhana Siddha, does not have to experience intolerant pain. He is of the same quality as Lord Krishna in this regard. Then there's a quote from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text 24. Even though he appears to be in the material world, he is not affected by the miseries of the material world. Those who are sadhavaha, or devotees engaged in Krishna consciousness, in the transcendental service of the Lord, do not feel the contamination of material miseries, whereas those who are not devotees in Krishna consciousness actually feel the miseries of material existence. Next, there's a quote from the first Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 55. A pure devotee of the Lord does not live on any planet of the material sky, nor does he feel any contact with the material elements. His so-called material body does not exist. Being surcharged with the spiritual current of the Lord's identical interest, and thus is permanently freed from all contaminations of the sum total of the Mahatattva. Being freed from this material nature is the primary meaning of the qualitative oneness with the Lord, Sakshadari, which the pure devotee has fully realized. Next is a quotation from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 4, Text 31. As the Lord is not affected by the modes of material nature, so a pure devotee of the Lord is also not affected by the modes of nature. That is the primary qualification of being one with the Lord. A person who is able to attain this transcendental qualification is called Jivan Mukta, or liberated, even though he is apparently in material condition. From Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 3:431. And then we have a quote from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, text number 38. This is the divinity of the personality of Godhead. He is not affected by the qualities of material nature, even though he is in contact with them. Similarly, the devotees of the Lord do not become influenced by the material qualities. Ram Raghava, I'm going to have to send you the actual Līlāmṛta review, parts 1, 2, and 3. So next time we do this, you'll be able to be a little easier to follow. We'll resume the program with Vishwakarma Prabhu. Hare Krishna.